Okay, if you're a regular viewer of the Knitting Podcast, you will know I do love my Drops Nord socks. So, a kind viewer told me that Wool Warehouse has a Drops Nord sale on. So this happened. So I thought, I'm actually a bit nervous opening this because there's a pattern I wanted to knit. I'll show you the pattern. I'm interested in knitting the Andrea Mowry pattern for the wool and honey. So I wanted like a honey colour. Now I know Drops Nord have got what they call goldenrod, which I thought was too bright, but then I've heard other people say it's not like it looks on the actual website, and I know from experience with the Drops Nord it comes out differently when you get it home rather than seeing it on the screen. So I've not only got, because it's free postage if you spend £30. So this is not sponsored by Wool Warehouse or Drops Nord. This is just me. So I've got a sweater quantity of the goldenrod and I've got some extras to make up the money. And so I'm a bit nervous because is it going to be too bright? Is it going to suit me? I have recently made that, I've forgotten the word again. What's the word? Mustard coloured top. So hopefully, I like that one, so hopefully I like this. So yeah, let's just get into it. Let's see what we've got. Oh, it doesn't look too bright. It doesn't look too bright in the actual bag, so let's see. This is what we've got. We're looking very Christmassy, aren't we? Christmas in July, going into August. So let's bring out the colour and see how it looks. Yes, it is much duller than you think. I'm liking that. It's looking brighter on my screen. So obviously all our screens are different, but it's definitely leaning into the mustard, but brighter than the other one that I did. Let me go and get that and we'll see. Okay, so this is my ranunculus in Drops Cotton Light. It looks the same, but this is slightly lighter. It's a very similar tone, but it's slightly lighter than the other one. So yeah, what do we think? Let's get a few. So if you don't know the Drops Nord, I think it's going to be nice pattern. If you're not familiar with Drops Nord, I'll give you the rundown of what it is. That's why I use it for socks, because it has got polyamide in it. So it's 45% alpaca, 30% polyamide, 25% wool. Let me give you a close up. So it has got the hairiness of the alpaca, but it's got a nice twist to it for socks. So yes, I've got that colour for that pattern, and then because I want some more colours, because this, I have decided this is my favourite for my socks now. I wanted a green. I've knit some green ones, but that was in the one that's like a yellow green. I don't know if it's called lemongrass, but this is the darker green, like the forest green. It's not as dark as I thought it might be. It is a very mid green, but very much a mossy green. So that is the green. So I have two of those. So I can make a pair of socks with those. I think that'd be nice. There's a sweater as well, wouldn't they? I think that is my colour. Am I just going to end up just using Drops Nord for everything? And then this is a true poppy bright red. I think this might be too bright for me for a sweater. I think I feel a bit, she says, oh, she's got a yellow one. But this is the red. And it's a real Christmas. I do love that red. But I was thinking socks is blowing out because it's red. I think it was Anita from Gaga knit some just plain red socks last Christmas. And I thought, yes, I like those. This is definitely going on my list for this Christmas. So I'm going to knit myself some plain red socks as well for Christmas. But for now, I only have those socks on the needles. Well, apart from the Chartres cardigan that I abandoned, that I was then going to knit into a long sleeved holster, which I've sort of abandoned again. So I think I should just start on this sweater. What do you think? So it has got, it's in garter stitch. It's a yoke, and then you have these long stitches to make up the bees. Honeycomb, that's what I'm thinking of, honeycomb. So yeah, you have the honeycomb at the top and then just the garter. So if you don't like purl stitching, this isn't for you because you do the purl stitches, the knit and purl. I'm okay with purl, I don't mind it at all, so I'm happy to do that. So yes, I think I'm going to cast this on today. So this is going to be a little bit of a vloggy video. I shall, just carry this on so I can cast on the neck, and then I shall do a bit of the yoke so you can see actually how it goes. So yeah, very excited post this morning. I came very quickly actually. So this is what I'm up to today. Well, this weekend, because it's Saturday at the moment. But yes, very exciting indeed. And as I say, all that for, I should have an invoice actually. I can tell you what the proper names are. So, I bought, how many? I bought 12 of the yellow because they're 50 gram balls, and that was £22.80. Hopefully I'm going to knit this in. It is cropped, this sweater, so I've ordered extra so I can add length. Also, the size of it, I've gone down a size. So even though Andrea is a 34-inch chest, she's done the size small. I'm doing a size small because it's so big and boxy. It's still going to have plenty of ease, but I'll revise that and tell you what I have cast on when I actually cast it on. But it is short and it's very boxy, so I'm going down a size because it's still going to be plenty of extra. So that is 12 balls I've ordered. And the red is just called red, and the green is called forest green, which I thought, and it's £3.80 for two, so it was £1.50, £1, so it's £1.90 a ball. So yeah, so I can get a pair of socks at £3.80 and still have leftovers, which is amazing for alpaca and wool socks. So that's what I'm going to get on and do, and I'll report back to you soon. Well, after a very wet and horrible weekend, I have made progress on my sweater. So this is the bag I've chosen to house it in, a me-made bag with bunny rabbits and a nice lining inside of some roses, and this is where I am. So I've made quite good progress on it. So I have short rows at the back, and then going into the honeycomb design. So there is all the details. I'm going to actually try and keep a knitting journal of each project now, because I'm rubbish at using Ravelry, so I thought, right, I'll write it all down in this and see how I go with that method. So I am doing the size small, which is finished 43 inches, and I'm about a 38-inch chest, so that's going to give me ease. Not as much as the recommended, 4 to 9 inches in the pattern. But I'm using the recommended 3.5 needles, and the drop snord is a fingering 4-ply weight. I'm a little bit concerned about how loose my honeycombs are, but being a yoke neck, what I'm thinking is I don't want it to be tight, because generally it's like stretched, isn't it, over like this part being a yoke. So I don't want it to be too tight over there, so I want it to be able to stretch out. So I don't want it, yeah, if it was tight I'd be worried, because it's loose I'm worried. So if you've knit this pattern, please let me know if yours looked loosey-goosey when you were knitting it, because they do look loose, but I'm doing it the correct amount of times, because you wrap the yarn round. When you knit, you wrap it round more times, 2 or 3 times, depending on the pattern where you are. So I'm doing that, so I'm not trying to do it loose. So yeah, I'm just going to go with it and see what happens. Obviously with blocking and everything, it might come out a bit bigger. But yeah, I'm really thinking, I'm loving the colour. What do we think? So yes, I don't think it's too bright. It is bright, it's definitely bright, being yellow, but yeah. But I like wearing this t-shirt, and this is brighter than that, isn't it? So yeah, we'll see how I carry on. But yeah, I only started that Saturday morning. It's now Monday morning. So did I start Saturday morning? Saturday afternoon really, I started it. So I've got quite a lot, because it is, as I say, fingering weight. So it's 4-ply yarn, so it's very thin on 3.5. So there's a lot of knitting there. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to make more progress. Just doing a couple of hours in the evening would be... It's very memorable though. This honeycomb pattern is a very easy pattern to do. Generally, if I'm doing something, I'll have lots of stitch markers in, but I'm not needing it. You can read the knitting and it makes sense. It's easy to remember it, what you're doing, even while watching TV. So yeah, it's not complicated at all if you were interested in it, but you was worried about that. So that, I've lost my word on this there. That is my wool and honey sweater. So I shall be carrying on with that. My socks that I am knitting. So in the last video, knitting podcast, I'd finished one, and so I was starting the next one, and I've nearly finished the next one. I'm quite far on the foot. Once again, this is a drop snord that I'm knitting it on, and it's just the dark raspberry plum colour that I didn't see on the website when I was ordering the other, because I would love a sweater in this colour. So I don't know if it's been discontinued, but yeah, I would love a sweater in that. But we shall see. Perhaps they're bringing out some new colours. Hopefully rich dark colours. That's the ones I like. So that is my socks. So because I'm nearly finished my socks, and I want a smaller project to go with that, because once I get down the yoke of that sweater, it's going to be a lot of just knit and purl, isn't it, for most of the sleeves and most of the body. So I'm going to want to break it up with something, but something that's not going to be too, well, I say that, but it could be because it's colour work I'm thinking of. So I'm thinking of knitting the Outfoxed mitts. So this is by Erica Huser, and it's a 4-ply pattern. There are lots she has made. she has designed so many brilliant mitts patterns. So I'll put them up here, some of them. There's dragonfly, owl, elephant. Oh, I can't remember them all, but they are such beautiful designs. And it would be hard to choose which one I wanted to do. If it wasn't because I was using up scraps. So I have some scraps here, and it's the Drops alpaca, just pure alpaca yarn. So can you imagine where my leftovers have come from? They are Vixen leftovers. So I want to use these. And yeah, so it's got to be a fox, hasn't it? It's got to be out fox mitts. So that's the yarn I'm going to be used for my mitts. So yeah, I think that I'm going to have loads of yarn though, because I'm sure it's only about 50 grams that you need. And I've got quite a lot here. So then perhaps I'll do a cowl with the leftovers. I've got other just alpaca 4-ply yarn I could mix in. So we shall do, perhaps I can echo some of the pattern that is on the mitts where you've got like round the cuff and things as pattern. Perhaps I can take something from that to actually make a cowl. So I think this would be nice as a cowl. Yes, because old Vixen doesn't need anything, do you? Sorry. Oh yes, a coat. I have promised her a coat for the autumn. So I do really love the one that's in the book. There's a green one. I think green would be really nice for autumn. Where's that book? Let's have a look, Vixen. Let's sit you up there. Okay, she's wearing it on the front actually. So in the Knitted Animal Friends book, she's wearing a green coat. And so I think a green coat would be in order. Yes, I know. She's saying she would need a new handbag then, because red handbag would not go over green coat. It might be very fashion forward. I was looking for a better picture, but I don't think there is a better picture of her coat. No, that's the best picture there is of the coat. So yeah, coming up to September time, I'll be thinking about making that. But at the moment, it's all about me. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your company and hope to see you again very soon. Take care. Bye for now.